Hello, friends. I have a scary paranormal story for you. This doesn't come with very much in the way of evidence, but it is a personal experience that I had that I really can't explain. I live in the southwest Michigan area, and there is an old jail in Allegan County that is presumably haunted. It's also a museum. If you want to go, you should check out the place for yourself because it is at least quite the fun little adventure to go to. And it's Victorian, and the jail is in the upper levels of the facility. So it's not your traditional jail setup. But the first time I went there was probably 2008 or 2009. And I went there with my now ex-wife and a small group of some others, and we were slated to do a paranormal investigation. And it was, if I remember correctly, one of my first with this group of people. And I made the mistake, after growing up in a haunted house and considering that ghosts can't hurt you, I didn't protect myself in any way walking into this space. I was really more interested in the history of it, and I wanted to find out more information about the building, and I wanted to know more about the artifacts in it because I am a big giant nerd and I like that stuff. And investigating is fun, and even if ghosts aren't real, even though I've seen them with my own eyes, at least I can spend time with people that I enjoy being with, and I can do something that would be considered a hobby, so who cares, right? It's not hurting anybody, I'm not charging anybody any money to get evidence from me, so what does it matter? And I went to this place, and quite literally within the first 10 minutes of being in there, I felt like I wanted to curl up in a ball and die. I had eaten dinner at a little restaurant not far from the jail about 30 minutes prior. I had finished and went with my ex-wife to the place. So I was full. It's not like I was hungry. But I cannot explain what I began to experience. So at first, I started to just feel like this overwhelming sense of anxiety. Not dread, not you need to run, you need to get out of here. It didn't feel dangerous. I just felt anxious and I couldn't explain it. Now, it's possible that what I had experienced in that space was just simply a horrible anxiety attack. But I don't think so, because within a minute or two of leaving and being outside the building, I felt perfectly normal, as if nothing had happened. And my symptoms were kind of bizarre. They were different from any anxiety I've ever experienced, and trust me, I have anxiety. I have had such bad anxiety attacks that I ended up in the hospital once, thinking I was having a heart attack. So I know what anxiety feels like, and this was not really it, although I felt anxiety at first. And then it progressed into this feeling like my head was becoming detached from my body, almost like lightheadedness, but not the same. And I was watching as the walls sort of acted like a bellows. That's what they looked like to my eyes. It was completely unexplainable and not something that I've talked about a whole lot, because, first of all, I always just chalked it up to it being my own stupid, lame experience, right? I can't prove that it existed. Nobody else was experiencing what I was experiencing. I knew it wasn't the food because my ex-wife and I had eaten the same things, but my stomach began to just roll over and over and over and over. And I tried my best to get through that time period. We were sitting in the kitchen at the space, and we moved from room to room. I did the entire investigation, feeling as if my brains wanted to come out of my ears. I don't know how else to explain it. It was not really a dissociative experience, but it was as if there was somebody else in my head. And not like I was possessed. Like, I don't think that. But I can't explain how I felt. And I kept having these, like, physical breathlessness, not even shortness of breath, but like I was breathing, but I wasn't getting any air. Almost like being at high altitude. And then just this feeling like I needed to lay down and curl into a fetal position. And I felt that way for hours. And then the first opportunity I had, I got out of that building. And by the end, I was feeling so terrible that I almost told my ex-wife to take me to the hospital. And I got in the car, and I was sitting there waiting for her. And it must have been a minute and a half. And all of a sudden, it was as if I snapped out of it. And I was completely fine. And that was the scary part. Because that was when I thought to myself, if that was an anxiety attack, it was the strangest and most unpleasant thing I've ever experienced in my life. And like I said, I've since had anxiety attacks and never had it be like that. And I've been to the hospital from them, and it's still not like that. Anyway, that's the Allegan Jail. It's worth a visit. Also, the Allegan Lodge, which I can tell a story about if I haven't already. I might not have told that story. That might be my next video. I hope everybody's doing well, and that you're having a wonderful week so far. Thanks for watching. Take care.